Good morning, Internet, and we're live. This is Vladimir Nemchinov with InvestSteady.com. Okay, today, this morning, Cleveland is buried with snow, but we are not here to talk about weather. We are here to talk about finances and answering some questions online. All right, welcome. Let's start with. Where's my mouse? Okay. You ready for this? And let's. All right, what just happened? I hope you can still see me. All right. Parent paid for whole life insurance for me for 17 years and has me taking over. Not sure whether I should keep paying or not. My parents are policyholders of a whole life insurance policy on me insured since I was 6 years old. Now they want me to start paying the annual premium. I'm not really sure whole life insurance is beneficial for me. I keep seeing everywhere to go with term life insurance instead. I'm a 23-year-old with no dependents yet, but I do plan on having family in the future. Well, this is one smart 23-year-old. I am licensed insurance agent as well. Okay, among other things, I can help with insurance. The funny fact about whole life insurance, the only people recommend whole life insurance are people who sell it. I do not recommend it. I don't sell it. My company does not sell it at all because it's a big scam. And so imagine now, for 17 years, these parents were paying for life insurance for what? Maybe for burial, some people arguably can say. Okay, there are riders to term life policy to insure kids, and it costs next to nothing. Definitely not as much as whole life insurance. But anyways, a couple things about insurance, right? So insurance is to protect the income if person passes, so that dependents can keep living and sustain their life, essentially. So that's what that's what life insurance is for. Whole life is the big selling point of whole life is that there's also investments. So basically, the whole life doesn't do insurance well, nor does it do investments well. So I recommend to separate those. Again, remember, disclaimer, I am not your financial advisor, so this is not an advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. However, if I were sitting face to face with you, this is what I would say. You do not need life insurance at 23. It would be the cheapest that you would ever get it, but unless you have children, there's no point for that. Somebody has to rely on your income to be replaced for you to get life insurance. Okay, so term life insurance only, and what we say is buy term and invest the difference. Okay, where whole life insurance you will pay a lot monthly, and they say part of it goes into investments. So you can do better investments than whole life can do. There's 4 problems with whole life insurance. Well, let's go through them. What are the problems with whole life insurance? And some of you might have whole life policies, okay? So you want to look into them. A couple things. The premium is very high, and they say that it accumulates, and then you can take that money out. Actually, you can only borrow it. So you are entitled to borrow your money that you put into it, okay? You borrowing that money at the high interest rate, okay? And when you pay back, well, opposite. Well, when you borrow the money, you pay high interest rate back, and it's not to yourself, okay? That's to the agents and to the company, okay? Now, you also, money that sits there and grows at a very low interest rate, okay? You can do much better with S&P 500, let alone some mutual funds that outperform. Now, also, one of the other things that is a problem with whole life insurance. It is for several few years that you put money into your investment. You for several years, like I said, you have nothing. So even you're already putting money in, but you can't get any. Where does the money go? It goes to the agent and to the company. And the problem with with whole life insurance number 4 is that you have your benefit, right? If something happens to you, okay, let's say my wife would be my beneficiary. So if something happens to me and she gets $1 million, whatever money I saved on the side from whole life does not go to my wife. Okay, it goes to the company. It stays with the company. I'm still getting the same benefit that I was basically I bought. Okay, and if you borrow money against that saving or investment in a whole life insurance, your beneficiary would not get that. Or if, let's say, I'm insured for $1 million, right, and I borrowed 100,000 from what grew there, then my wife only gonna get $900. So she's gonna get 1 million minus what was borrowed from the money. So I can only borrow money that I put in there that grew, and I'm not gonna get them if I die. So there's the catches with whole life insurance. Do not recommend that whatsoever. Again, check it out. Only people who sell whole life recommend it. Okay, term life is the way to go. Let's see. All right, so this 23-year-old knows about that. You're 23-year-old, you don't need life insurance. Okay, when you get married, you get kids, get life insurance. Okay, in case something happens to you, they will be your what do people call it? Outlive you. Your survivors will benefit from that. That's the point of life insurance. Okay, not to make you rich. Just like with car insurance, you don't expect anything from car insurance except to cover you in case an accident. Okay, all right. So definitely do not continue those payments. Close it, cancel it. Parents gonna be upset. It's okay. They're welcome to do it themselves, but they cannot make me, as their child, do something that especially is financially irresponsible. Okay, this is our take on whole life insurance. Next question. Mother died with credit card debt. I got the money from her life insurance. Do I have to pay it now? All right. Okay, so rather lengthy question. Stupid question. There is no stupid questions. Ask and you shall receive. Ask, find out. It's better to look stupid maybe for somebody, but you will be that much smarter when you get the answer to this question. Okay. My mom died in the middle of last year. I was given a letter by my grandparents detailing her credit card debt, and they just outright told me I had to pay it. But after looking into it, I'm not so sure that I can't. Not so sure, and I can't seem to find straight answer. It's specifically credit card debt, and debt collectors is SIMM associate. I got pretty hefty payout from her life insurance, but it was a long and complicated process to get to that point and claim the money. Okay, it says in the letter that it's to her estate. Ooh, okay, that changes things. My grandmother thinks that means I'm now responsible for paying it since I claimed insurance, life insurance money. I look it up, and that generally does seem to be the case. But I figured I'd try and ask people who maybe know better to clear things up, just because I don't want to be wrong about something like this. All right. Again, sorry, it's not a stupid question. Okay, so a couple things. In general, if you are a beneficiary, you benefit from it, like in this case from her mother, but you don't owe anything on the debts. Now, debts is generally taken out of the estate. Okay, there will be probate court To be honest, I'm not sure if beneficiary can be estate, because what's estate? It's not a um, it's not a person. It's not a entity. So not sure about that. But if she's a beneficiary, she does not have to pay anything. But probate court will determine that, because everything she owned, okay, will be counted against what she owed. That's where we get net worth as well. So all the debtors gonna go after her estate. All right. So and the estate is again what she owned: car, property, business, bank accounts, retirement. All that is going to be counted, or that's going to come out of that. So again, depending what that means, estate. If she was the sole person who benefited or benefactor or who was beneficiary on her policy, then she doesn't have to pay any of her mom's debt. Um, it is we are not responsible for mistakes and debts of our parents, and the same as our parents not responsible for us after we become independent or adults. Okay, so there is that. um, let's see. All right, best apps websites to track multiple banks. I have quite a few accounts with different banks, not for any particular reason. I have two accounts with Moneybox, Lisa, and LISA, and an ISA. A current account with Santander, and the credit card with Barclay. Lastly, a Monzo basic card. Is there a way that I can use one app to see all these banks in one place? I was using Snoop, but it can't see any of my Moneybox accounts, so it thinks I lose, what is it, pounds? Every month randomly when it actually, yeah, when in fact I'm putting it into savings. I would just love to be able to see something that has all my cards accounts in it, but think it's probably a long shot. So I turned 40 years old last year, and some things that are complex in my life, but some things that I can make easy and not complex, I definitely do. Okay, and this is one of them. I have personal checking account. I have personal saving account. I have business checking and business saving. That's it. Okay, so I have two debit cards. Okay, I have zero credit cards, and that's it. I don't need any extra app. As a matter of fact, I don't like extra apps as well. The more complex it is, the more things you need to do, the more things you need to track. Just put everything. Same with our retirement. I had a Roth IRA here, Roth IRA there, my wife. Now it's all under one roof. I have IRA, Roth IRA. Same thing, my wife. She has IRA, Roth IRA, and SEP IRA because of her previous employer. And that's it. Fewer accounts to manage. As a matter of fact, I would like to move the IRA money into Roth IRA. One of these years, I'll do that so that it continues growing tax-free, and I'll pay taxes on it up front. So you are probably a young person, whoever asked this question. Aggravating ship 395. Simplify your life. I know it's probably not much going on right now when you're young. There's only a few things we do, maybe work and play games, I guess. But simplify your life. Get rid of all the other banks. Why have them? There's no benefit. And if they offer you a couple $100 to open a checking account with them, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, all this management nightmare, in my opinion. Okay. All right. Planning. Surprise inheritance. I was totally not prepared for. I, 32 male, just found out that I will be inheriting a very large sum of money, and I'm completely unprepared on what to do with it. If I should do anything at all with it. over the holidays, a close family member passed away, and just this week I found out that they left me a huge surprise: $500,000 in Schwab account and 50K cash. I have no idea what stocks, bonds, etc., ETFs, etc., it is invested in yet, nor any idea on how to handle this life-changing windfall. My wife and I have a few ideas for the cash, but this is an amount I only ever dream of having, and certainly don't want to squander it or make a mistake that I will regret decades down the road. Very good. Very good that you asked these questions. Most people that something like that happens to, they do indeed squander it. So if you never handle money like that, it's going to be hard to figure out in the blink of an eye how to do. But surround yourself with advisors, double check their advice. You know, some people will advise one thing, some people advise another thing. Do your research, use ChatGPT, ask questions of AI, and see what it says. But let's look at the numbers. Some information on our current financial situation. We own our home valued at 360, still ongoing, 278K with a 2.75 interest rate. I have 26K in personal brokerage account, 3K in the Roth IRA, 25 in my company 401K, and make an annual pre-tax wage of about 90K to 100K with salary and overtime. The wife makes around 90K annually as well, with only 3K in the Roth IRA, no other investments. We've only had these well-paying jobs for about 2 years. We have vehicle loan with 9,000K left on it, and solar loan with about 10K left on it. No other debt besides the previously mentioned mortgage. All right, so not bad at all. P.S. The wealth management company that handled my deceased family member account is a possible resource, but I want to be prepared outside of that and may have to what they might have to say. They charge zero point 0.6 of the account balance annually. All right, so anything under 1% is pretty good. So just like wealth game levels, first thing, okay, create budget. You have great income for your family to have debt. Okay, so figure out what money going, what's coming in, what's going out. The likelihood of you getting money like that in the future is very low. So you only have one shot at this. Okay, for all of you who just joined us, welcome. This is live streaming with financial questions with Vladimir. Okay. We're talking about young person who inherited over $500,000, a little bit over $500,000 in money. And okay, so the first thing is do the budget. You need to be able to be sustainable on your income. And you have $180,000 to $190,000 is a very good income for a family. Okay, so the next step would be, again, life insurance, protect your loved one in case something happens to you, and vice versa, especially if you have kids. Okay. Number 3 is have emergency fund. Okay, so if you make almost 200K a year, your emergency fund 3 to 6 months, put that aside. Apologize. After you pay off your debt, pay off your cars, pay off your solar. Okay, and then put aside money for emergency fund. 3 to 6 months, fully funded emergency fund. After that, make sure that you put away 15% of your retirement. Like you mentioned here, 401ks, Roth IRAs. So max out both of your Roth IRAs for last year would be great. And then for this year as well, upfront. You don't need to do it monthly because the sooner you put it in, the sooner it will start growing and it's going to be tax-free. 401ks as well, up to 15% put into your 401k, so your retirement is growing. If the rest of the money will have to be moved and just see what they invested in. Single stocks, a big no-no, very volatile, not the way to go. Mutual funds are the way to go. So see, make sure there is no bonds, nothing like that, especially at your age. You don't want money sitting there at 5% return. Okay, so invest. You can keep it with them in the Schwab. That's fine, or you have somebody else who help you. Just put it in the account for taxable, not tax advantage account, brokerage account, basically. That's what I would do if I had a windfall like that. All right. Okay, done with this one. Let's go to the next one. 401k pause to pay debt. I'm trying to help a friend improve their budget and aggressively pay down debt. Uh, Given their current rent and fixed expenses, there isn't much room left to cut without causing real strain. We are currently about 20k in credit card debt and paying roughly 400 a month in interest. They are 45 years old. Would temporarily pausing 401k contribution for 6 months to smart move be a smart for six pausing 401k contribution for 6 months be a smart move to accelerate debt payoff. The thinking is that knocking down the principal faster would reduce interest and minimum payment, freeing up cash flow. Once the debt is under control, they could redirect the money back into their 401k and start building savings more effectively. Uh, that is exactly right. So when you are doing a little bit here, a little bit there, it's gonna take you a longer time everywhere. Okay. So instead, focus on one thing. All right. So you have $1,000 in your starter emergency fund. Okay. Next is pay off the debt. Pause all the retirement investing, so you can snowball that very quick. It's gonna get you out of debt faster, and then once you save up for emergency fund, then you can resume investing into your retirement 401k and preferably Roth IRA if they do not match. And that's it. Well, just like you were saying, and then we'll give you more money to live with and then invest as well 15% into your retirement. All right. So that was easy peasy. All right. Is 15 a good point to begin building credit? I'm 16, I'm 15, 16 now, and started building my credit back in July of last year. And it's gone from 490 to 701 as of today. I managed to get a card somehow under my name aside all odds, and it's been going fine so far. Haven't begun alone. Haven't begun alone. Haven't done anything that could heavily pump it down. It's pretty much just been up since I somehow opened it. Is there anything I should know other than the obvious stuff? I literally have not uh, baited, batted an eye to it and all whatsoever. And I just want to know if there would be anything that I would or could do to keep it as it is, even improve it. Okay, so credit score. You only need credit score to borrow money. If you don't want to borrow money, you don't need credit score. You can rent, you can buy property, you can obviously buy cars with cash. You don't need credit score for that. You're 15, don't get into this cycle. I have a good score, so I can borrow more money and borrow money, so I get a better credit score. I definitely would advise against that. If we were sitting face to face, that's what I'd say. Don't do it. Don't worry about it. It's good because they want to loan you more money. If it's not bad, it's usually good, and no credit score is a good credit score. Okay. Cash out HSA towards debt. Excuse me. I'm 44 and I have a lot of debt that I'm trying to pay off aggressively with snowball method. Good method. I dump all my extra money toward it and it will take me a couple years to pay off most likely. However, I was able to max out my HSA for 4,300 for 2025. I'll probably be doing the same thing for this year too. I did and will have covered medical expenses that would make the withdrawal 100% tax-free. I'm not behind on any payments or struggling to meet them, but I just can't decide if I should leave all my HSA contribution alone going forward or withdraw it now and put towards my overall debt. My 401k has 320k in it, and as well as I did temporarily reduce that from 5 bare minimum to 0, so I can have some extra cash on hand to also put towards debt. So again, you don't want to disconnect that growth. HSA account could turn into retirement apart from you using it for medical expenses, and the money there are pre-tax. You can also invest them inside the HSA and it will grow that way. Obviously, we'll have medical expenses and you probably will use them up like that. So when I had HSA back in the day, I would put only as much as I budgeted for medical expenses for the year. Okay, so they come and I win by using money that I didn't pay taxes on. That's a win in my book. So I would not max it out right now, as long as you don't need that much in your medical expenses. If you do, for sure, max it out, because this way you will use money that you didn't pay taxes on, and that's a benefit. But other than that, just buckle up, Buttercup. Pay off your debt. You have a lot in your retirement. Just focus. Get a part-time job. Only 2 years. Okay, if you double your contribution, it's going to be 1 year. Get it done. Get out of debt. Then you will relax, and then you resume your investments. So that's what I would say to SMC0881. Okay. Welcome anybody who's watching. Appreciate you joining this morning. A snowy morning in Cleveland, Ohio. Roads are bad. And looks like the camera is out. It's time for me to sign out. I will see you today is Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow around from 7 to 8 a.m. Thank you guys for joining, and have a great day. Remember, invest steady and what do I say? Invest steady